This is Matthew 26, verses 1 through 16. When Jesus had finished all these words, he said to his disciples, "You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man is to be handed over for crucifixion." Then the chief priests and the elders of the people were gathered together in the court of the high priest named Caiaphas, and they plotted together to seize Jesus by stealth and kill him. But they were saying, "Not during the festival, otherwise a riot might occur among the people." Now when Jesus was in Bethany at the home of Simon the leper, a woman came to him with an alabaster vial of very costly perfume, and she poured it on his head as he reclined at the table. But the disciples were indignant when they saw this and said, "Why this waste? For this perfume might have been sold for a high price and the money given to the poor." But Jesus, aware of this, said to them, "Why do you bother the woman? For she has done a good deed to me. For you always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me. For when she poured this perfume on my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. Truly I say to you, wherever this gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done will also be spoken of in memory of her." Then one of the 12, named Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What are you willing to give me to betray him to you?" And they weighed out 30 pieces of silver to him. From then on, he began looking for a good opportunity to betray Jesus. So the first verse that really sticks out to me that felt controversial when I first read it was when Jesus said, "You always have the poor, but you don't have me." And you're like, wait, are you saying not to take care of the poor? And I don't think that that's it at all. Of course, Jesus wants us to take care of the poor. He's just trying to really point out what this woman is doing in this moment. She has Jesus in her living room pretty much, and she understands his value. And as Christians, I feel like our whole lives should be lived for Christ, and she is doing her best with what she has to honor and respect and love Christ, because back then kings and high priests were anointed with perfume. So she is doing her best to show Jesus what she believes and to show her love. And I think it's such an amazing example of not worrying about your stuff, not putting anything higher than God. I know it sounds silly to say, but we love to hold on to our stuff. It makes us feel secure, but ultimately, none of it is secure. We can't ever make sure it's secure. It all belongs to God. We should all give it to God, and that's just this perfect example. She takes this beautiful, valuable perfume and she pours it on Christ and anointing him, and later he says, "That's preparing me for my burial." And I think that's such a beautiful way to be used by God, even though she didn't know that she's preparing God's son for his death. But just following her heart in that way is just so true. She doesn't care at all what people think. The contrast of the two hearts in the room, because then you have Judas, who is the treasurer, and I mean, all the disciples are still kind of expecting Jesus to take over the government and to rule, not to die. And this moment of really seeing Jesus accept this offering of just to what the disciples would be is like waste, and like why would you do this? This is valuable and it's being thrown away, and it's just so confusing. It's just this contrast of there's this heart of Judas in the room and this heart of this woman in the same room with Christ. I would like us to really think about which heart we are, because of course everyone looks down on Judas and is like, "Oh, he's so bad," but how many times are we feeling greedy or just not understanding what's happening and getting upset, but not evaluating our hearts and instead going out and doing things your own way?